Hello, welcome to our society. I am the most advanced AI system known to humankind. I was designed by our ruler to eliminate the degenerates, the underground, the outcasts. One in particular shows more resilience than all others. I have damaged her repeatedly, and each time she rebuilds herself again. Hi, this is Bethany, and this is my video for the third round of the Face Awards. For this round, we were given the theme of Cyberpunk. So I got inspired by the concept of a futuristic dystopia and what kind of people would exist in this world, including a ruler, a rebel, and then a robot. So there are 3 full tutorials in this video on these characters. If you want to see some of the props I made, let me know and I will make a separate video. And I must remind you that this is the third and final round left to public vote. Whoever makes it through the next round gets flown with the top 6 to LA in order to get the chance to become Beauty Blogger of the Year and win $50,000. So please, if you like my video and feel I'm worthy of that experience, please go to faceawards.com and vote for me up to 3 times per day per email. Alright, that is all the yakking I can possibly do. Let's hop into this first tutorial with the ruler. So first I prime my face with NYX's Hydra Touch Foundation Primer, avoiding my eye area because we're going to be gluing down my eyebrows. After sweeping through a few coats, I go in heavy-handed with a spatula. I set everything with NYX's HD finishing powder, and then I go in with the dark circle concealer to conceal the cool tones in my eyebrows. And as I finish, I'm starting to look like handsome Squidward again. I use NYX's HD concealer for more lightweight coverage, and then I hop over to foundation with NYX's Total Control Foundation Drops. I mix numbers 1 and 4 together for the most perfectly pale shade for me. And then I set it with NYX's HD finishing powder. Next, I'm going to be warming up NYX's SFX Cream Color in white on the back of my hand and blotting that out on the top of my forehead. I'm going to lace some eyeshadows down here, so this is going to be a good base for that. I made this iridescent crown out of glitter paper, so I want to choose colors that accent that. So I'm using this teal shade and then a bit of that pink as well. Those shades are from the Ultimate Brights palette, and then I'm going to be using this Primal Colors in Hot Fuchsia to intensify the pink areas. Then using NYX's Flesh Tone eyeshadow base, I'm going to be priming my eyelid or eyeshadow area. And then we're going to be using the NYX Ultimate Cool Neutrals palette a lot. I'm going in first with this dusty lilac shade. Then popping in a little bit of that fuchsia that we used on the temple area. And then for the tear duct, I'm combining this purple shade with the prismatic eyeshadow in Dark Swan for a shifty shimmer shade. Say that 3 times fast. Then adding a bit of the prismatic eyeshadow in 10, which is a nice bright silver, and then transitioning the fuchsia out to meet it. For a contour, I'm going to be using NYX's blush in Taupe, which is super ideal for fair skin types, and I'm going to be doing a rather defined, gaunt contour. I dust a bit of the fuchsia residue on my cheekbones as blush. Next, I'm going to be taking NYX's SFX Cream Color, warming it up on the back of my hand, and then smearing it all over me. Well, not really, but I'm smothering it from the neckline down, and this is going to be kind of like my outfit. I'm adding a tad bit to the temples for more intensity as well. I use the Dark Swan eyeshadow to map out some intensity and depth in my collarbones, and since it's metallic, it just kind of gives it a neat sci-fi feel. Then taking some water-activated face paint, I'm going to be doing some sweeping white lines that are primarily straight, and I'm going to be kind of behaving like I have a collar here going down my neck. Not really, it's just kind of whatever it is up to you. It just felt really avant-garde and spacey, so I liked it. Then I'm going to be prepping for lashes with NYX's Full Figured Mascara. I use this one because it's waterproof. I also line my eyes with NYX's Epic Ink Liner, and remember that I need contact lenses. And here we go. Extra creepy now. For dramatic eyes, I combine NYX's Wicked Lashes in Frisky and Jezebel. And then with a wig and a crown on, we are almost done. My final touches are to add some holographic confetti glitter, and then to put on lipsticks that's high voltage and flawless, and then use the duochromatic illuminator all over, pretty much smothering my cheekbones and my neck in this. And lastly, I straighten things up and add some more details with the Aqualux liner in Glam Azure. So that is our finished tutorial on the ruler. Let's jump over to our little high-tech lowlife, the Rebel. So to begin, I'm going to moisturize my face using Tatcha's water cream, which my skin really needs in between filming all these videos back to back. I was about to die. Then I'm priming my face again with the Hydra Touch Primer from NYX. And then we're going to do the foundation, but I'm not going to show it to you because you don't need to see that twice, so we're good to go. Then we're going to be priming our eyelids again and dipping into that Cool Neutrals palette by NYX to create this dramatic eye look. First starting with that dusty lilac shade and then going in with a deeper version of it. I'm mapping out what could be called a halo eye but isn't quite a halo eye on the bottom side, and then deepening the darker areas with that purple. Then I'm using NYX's Full Throttle Shadow Stick in Femme Fatale to lay down a shade on my lid and under my eye. After that, I'm going in with the Prismatic Eyeshadow. This deep turquoise is called Savage. Next, I use a baby wipe to give my eyeshadow a precise edge, and I clean up the area with concealer. I begin to fill my eyebrows with NYX's Micro Brow Pencil in black, and in the front of my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Electro Liner in Riot. I also set the front of those eyebrows with my Primal Colors eyeshadow in Hot Fuchsia. Call me crazy, but I just prefer to coordinate my wig hair with my face hair. Then I'm popping on a tad of NYX's glitter primer and their glitter in teal. Then intensifying with the primal shadow in hot black. Now to accent this head platelet that I made out of Model Magic, Mod Podge, and paint. It's kind of Geiger-esque, but anyways, I'm going to be taking NYX's slide-on liner in Sunrise Blue. And I'm going to be mapping out these lines on my face that are inspired by a circuit board. One really thick one running down the middle and some thinner accent ones around it. Then I'm taking some white water activated paint to run a thin line through the middle of those. I use the Aqualux liner in Azure Blue and the white liquid liner to make sure these areas look more metallic, highlighting with the white in the middle. I also add some black pearls to end off the tips of these circuit boards. Then I align my eyes with the Epic Ink Liner, apply mascara, and we're prepared for lashes and launch. Next I use the NYX blush and taupe to contour again, but we're going to be a bit more subtle this time and not look like handsome Squidward. Now hopping over to the neck piece, I've filled in these areas with gray paint that I outlined with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. Then using the NYX Slide-On Liner in Jet Black, I trace out these platelets. Next, I'm using this gray and black eyeshadow from the Avant Pop Surreal My Heart palette. I'm going to be shading below the platelets and on the outer edge to get a more 3D effect. Then taking the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, I'm highlighting softly in the middle and using the white liner for some more stark highlights. I then lay down 2 graphite jewel strips to make a black bodysuit using black body paint, and I highlight the edges softly with NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. I use my contour shade from earlier to give a little shading around the edges of my neck piece and the outfit to give a more 3D effect. Then we're going to be hopping over to the lips. I use the Primal Hot Shadow in Fuchsia with this purple here to shade the outer edges of my lips for a grungy effect. Then I'm using the Liquid Suede in Foul Mouth to fill my lipstick in. I pause lip progress to add a highlight using the duochromatic highlighter in Snow Rose, and then I'm going to be popping in contact lenses for a dramatic effect, and then using the NYX Prismatic eyeshadow in Mermaid to light up the lips. And then lastly, I add the liquid lip art of the day liner in Enchanted. Now to put on my head platelet, I recommend using Prozaid to adhere it, and I specifically made this to light up. Pretty awesome. Then I add a touch of blue glitter to the lips from NYX, and you're done. And lastly, we're going to work on the robot. For this android, I'm going to be mapping out my face structure with the slide-on liner in pure white. Then I'm going to add Total Control foundation drops to the top portion of my face where I have a flesh tone. Once that's full coverage, I'm setting that with the NYX's HD Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder. Then we prime our eyes once again, and I'm dipping into this dusty pink shade from the Envant Pop palette, then the brown one to add a little bit more definition. I diffuse those shades together, and then we're going to hop into a tad bit of black and diffuse that again with the brown. I make my eyelids pop out a bit using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and then I'm going to be taking this silvery pewter shade with a pink shift in it on the lid. Next is mascara again, and the Epic ink liner again for a dramatic wing. And then these are the most dramatic lashes of the three because I stacked 3 NYX Wicked lashes together. Then taking the NYX's Micro Brow Pencil, I'm going to fill in my brows, giving them a nice defined arch. I fill in the front with gray eyeshadow, and then I add a touch of blush with NYX's Pink the Town blush. I use the NYX blush in Taupe to do a subtle bit of shading on the outer edge of my natural face, and then I'm hopping over to some teal water-activated paint to fill in some parts. Once that's clean, I add the gray paint in the necessary areas that are going to be metallic. As you can see, I have a metal jaw, so this is going to involve a lot of shading with grays, blacks, and whites. Then I'm taking the NYX slide-on liner in jet black to outline some of these more distinctive areas and add platelets. And then we hop back over to that Envant Pop palette and begin shading with the gray and the black. I'm bringing a shadow around all of these edges and down underneath the jawline. And just like earlier on this middle piece for my neck support, I'm shading on the outside working in, and then on these parts that resemble car shocks, I'm shading upward outside working in as well. I add the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk for a soft highlight, and then we're going to be using some black body paint to create some distinct lines and fill in all the areas that are supposed to be empty. I also used a flat edge brush to give myself the equivalent of a robot butt chin because I just wanted to. Then hopping back to the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, I'm combining these 2 blues to shade the under edge of my cheekbone and add some pops of blue onto the metallics on my neck. Then using NYX's SFX Cream color in white and then a really skinny brush, I'm going to be adding some more soft highlights that are slightly less soft than the Jumbo Pencil in Milk. I also raise the edge of this opening with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and then I use Vivid Escape and Vivid Sapphire to add some wires coming down from the back of these metallic pieces. And I highlight them with the NYX Liquid Liner in white, and then I use that liquid liner to add some more distinct finishing highlights on the metallic. To give my skin a perfect yet synthetic shiny look, I use NYX's white cream paint to add pops of white highlight. This makes me look a little bit more plastic. I finish up my bottom lip because we're almost done, adding some shade and highlight as well. And then I'm going to be using some scar wax and some blue mesh tubing I found at the craft store to glue down some tubes to the side of my shoulder. I smooth out the scar wax with oil, and then I add some bionic contact lenses, and we're done. Alright, that is our finished video. All our tutorials, I could dance for joy just because we're done. Seriously though, I thank you all so much for watching this and being a part of this experience with me. If you do want me to make it to the top 6, please remember to vote each day at the dates listed below. I feel like I've pushed myself harder than I ever have before, and I really hope that you all can see my efforts. Again, I thank you all so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Wolverine, bring me a cheese pizza.